Randy Campbell here, everyone. He's meeting up with me today for a hasty hip pocket moment where we're going to talk about just some basic questions for professionals out there. So I asked him to meet me. Literally, he's on the move somewhere else, and he just happened to detour because of my ambition to say, hey man, make it happen, please, and he did.
Hold on. I think it's more about Jake's powers of professional persuasion. So go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, so we got some yuppie Starbucks coffee here, and it's a good afternoon here on Yom Kippur, a nice holiday that I'm sharing right now. All right, but hey, I got some questions for Randy. What is the most valuable attribute of a great instructor, and why?
Well, let me say this. I'm very big on context, Jake. Like, I'm not just going to answer it without some context. So, instructor, let me preface, we're not talking about like me showing up to teach like a Microsoft Excel update to a crowd of people. So this is for instructors or professionals who are teaching like life safety principles, dirt medicine, stop the bleed, hard things that make people face their mortality. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So that's the context that we're moving forward in. So what's the greatest attribute, or one of the best attributes? You need to care about your people that you have been entrusted to teach. And I would just simply say this: after a lot of years of teaching and currently in a role as an instructor, primarily with civilian audiences, if you don't have a basic foundation of care about those people that you're teaching, I would question, like, why are you even showing up to the class? Because I can tell you from experience, when you're talking about hard things, like life and death things, you need to be able to connect with people on a very personal level, because there's a commonality that you have with the audience as an instructor and them as the students. That's at your people. And your life as an instructor is valuable, and their life is valuable. So being able to communicate that right out of the gate, and I say that not because it's some type of esoteric knowledge, it's like people tell us this. Like, I've been in an adult learning environment my whole life, and there ain't no instructors ever said, hey, we care about you. That's powerful.
And that's easy. It's easy to do.
I don't know if you're being facetious, but it ain't easy to do for a lot of people.
So again, it's when you have, all right, all I'm saying is, if you have that in you, it's easy to say it. It's hard to maybe mean it, but that's their judgment, not yours. That's their perception.
So when people come up to you and say, you had me when you told me you cared about me and my life was valuable, and it was worth like an immeasurable amount, you had me. Like, I want to listen to what you got to say. So check this out. You can have all the technical skills, and not you, but generally speaking, you can have all the technical skills in the world. You can be like a professional Jedi with all of this, but if you don't care about people, and if you don't connect with like some level of warmth, dude, all you're doing is showing up and regurgitating information. We already got enough.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So I love it. All right, number 2, if you could give managers / supervisors one piece of advice, what would it be?
Managers, supervisors, one piece of advice. Number 1, like, you be straining toward the goal of becoming a leader. And one of the defining attributes of leadership, here's something you probably never heard of, Jake. You need to care about those people that have been entrusted to your care as a manager, supervisor, leader. What does that look like? You need to be trying to give them as much good to make them stronger, to develop them professionally, all of these things. That's what leaders do. And so you got managers, supervisors, those are administrative titles. Leadership, dude, I've been around long enough, I'm gonna just say this. Everybody wants to be a Jedi, but there ain't a lot of people that want to do the Jedi things.
Yeah,
I'll stop right there.
I love it. All right, number 3, if you could implement one thing into every K-12 school in America right now, what would it be?
If I had the horsepower to do that, which I don't, I would implement immediately teaching K-12 basic situational awareness skills, just situational awareness. And basic preparedness, especially once you get up into high school. So situational awareness and preparedness, we don't have those skills in our culture. I'll share a quick story with you. By the way, I got to tell you, Jake would not tell me the questions ahead of time, so he's put me on the spot here. Thanks, Jake. We were at a higher educational institution last year, teaching a very big crowd of people preparedness and some dirt medicine skills. At the end of the session, we had a Q&A, and there was a woman who stood up, and she had a tourniquet in her hand that we'd been teaching, and she said, "Hey, I got a question." Now, this doesn't get any more legitimate than this from the live studio audience. She said, "I've got a son in high school here, and they spent an enormous amount of time teaching him how to put a condom on a banana." She holds a tourniquet up in the air. There's like 45, 50 students in the class, adult students, and she says, "I want to know why my son's not being taught how to put on a tourniquet to stop the bleed on himself or somebody else." Like, that stuff preaches all across the state. Does that answer your question?
That was a mic drop moment, I'm sure, too. Where everybody's like, oh wow.
Well, it was interesting. They were like, yeah,
ding,
yeah,
ding, ding.
yeah, it's like, yeah.
The light bulb popping, boom, boom. That's great. All right, bonus question.
Do I have to answer?
By the way, I sent Randy these. This is a test of his. He doesn't text and drive. I sent him an audio recording of these questions about an hour ago. So he probably heard it, but the message is probably deleted because it's one of those keep messages. All right, I got a bonus question that he doesn't know this one. This is new. All right, what can we do as professionals to help the industry of military and police recruitment?
Recruitment. That's a very...
So talking at the operational level, and then at the kids as well, and the youth.
Getting people interested in the vocation.
That, and also what the organizations can do to help do a better job.
Right off the cuff, I would say promote the fact that if you come to work with us, whether it's military, law enforcement, fire, EMS, right out of the gate, we want to invest in you. We want to take good care of you. Like, we're going to develop you to be a professional in whatever lanes that you go into. Like, we're going to make you better than you are now, but along the way, we're going to provide you with the tools so that as a person, we can take care of you. Because we all, like, I'm speaking from experience, dude. Like, my vocation that I'm retired from, state police, they taught me so many amazing things that I use now. I'm so grateful to them. But when I was coming along, and things have changed a lot, but now as far as mental health and just caring, like the mind, the heart, all those things, those are things we've now learned from experience. We got to offer those to the people coming into the trade.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we also need to make sure, and I'm going to add just my perspective because I'm going to jump in here.
Plus, you're in charge.
I think with kids, well, I want this about you, not me, but I want to add this part with the kids. So we have 13 years with the average student in the U.S. in our schools.
Yeah, so
private, public, doesn't matter. Average kid, 13 years. Those years are so important, not just in the skills they're learning for math, right? For science, for the educational, the challenging situation for curriculum stuff, right? That's the design of they're there to learn that stuff. But the non-educational hours, the things they're learning there, go with them for life. And that's why it's important, socialization, the anti-bullying. If we require our kids nationally to train these average drills, fire for evacuation, active threat, some of the lockdown drills, some states call them, the tornadoes, and also some states do earthquake drills. Those 4 drills, if we require it, why aren't they having the best training possible? And why don't we meet them with the 8 to 3 time slot they're in school for everywhere they would be, what they would do for those drills as response. So that's all I got. Randy, thanks for your time.
Yeah.
We're gonna put this out at maybe different snips or the whole video. But hey guys, this is Hasty. We can call it Truck Talk, okay? Randy Campbell, everyone, and Jake Edwards with Threat Response.